All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless me here again, talking real music in real time for real people out there just like you and just like me. Holy crap, Batman. Slow news day for me in this journey stuff, huh? Just nothing to talk about. Oh, all right. First of all, John Elefante. Want to thank John from Australia, who is all about this John Elefante album. And he got me into it, and it is really good. It's called The Amazing Grace, courtesy of our friends over at Escape Music. There's the handsome devil known as John Elefante, still looking great. I mean, he was in Kansas like 40 years ago, right? Just, yeah, time flies when you're having fun or whatever the expression is. But this is a really great album, great production value, a lot of twists and turns, just unexpected melodies that go in different directions. A little proggy maybe, but still that old school pop and rock sound with the great John Elefante at the helm, and lyrically very important, maybe a little on the religious side for some people. Speaking of the religious side of things, Jonathan Cain and Neal Schon are again talking about each other. John Cain responded to the stuff I posted earlier, not to me directly, but to Neal Schon. And how many holy crap Batmans would this be on this one video? There are several because of the tweeting and what Cain says about Schon. And Neal Schon actually makes a point that I made in the first video, that at one time, Jonathan Cain said that he didn't want this music to be used in a political context. In addition, folks, for you Steve Perry fans, Steve Perry has also said, hey, this music shouldn't be used in a political context. Now, again, some people didn't like my take on the Donald Trump situation, and I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over it because I look at politics right now as a big distraction. The late, great Frank Zappa, I think I already said this quote. Frank Zappa, pretty good guitarist, pretty weird guy, but every so often a weird guitarist gets it right. And he said, look, politics is the entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. So if you're heavily invested in Team A or Team B, and if Team A begins to win, then you've got to trash Team A and find a way to sort of rip them all apart on that side of the popularity contest. And that means going after people, making fun of them, commenting on their appearance. All these things, by the way, have happened to me just doing this particular channel. So again, society right now is just feeding off of that stuff. So when it comes to music, music should be an escape for a little while. Now, if you go see Roger Waters and you're expecting the music to be an escape, you've gone to the wrong concert. You should know if you go see a guy like Roger Waters, you're going to be preached to or preached at. And some of it you're not going to like, most likely. All right. I like some of what he says, especially about this ridiculous thing in Ukraine that's going on. It's just, I mean, and we had the president of Ukraine here yesterday, and that's just a little distraction, right? It's just to make people think, yes, we want to give billions of dollars to a country that we can't find on a map. Yes, it's a great thing while people on Fort Myers Beach can't find a place to live, And I said that, I think, in the first video, where I did a take of the video where I said that, and it's true. It's a war zone, but we're going to send all our money. We're going to create a war zone in another country. Anyway, with all that stuff going on, music, I think, needs to be kind of a place where you can, decompress, chill out, and not think about this garbage for a little while. So when you bring politics into it, or you're trying to make a political statement like, hey, this guy is running for president, don't stop believing, right? Don't stop believing. For you people who've kind of jumped off the Trump train. Hey, don't stop believing. Or, this is our entertainment and these are our friends and this is the kind of music they play. And so they're going to patronize the crowd in Mar-a-Lago, who are eating like steak and little slices of key lime pie. Sounds like a good time. I was not invited. Okay. John didn't send me an invite. Nobody sent me an invitation. I would have went and I would have still said, hey, what's going on? How come you're still cheering on the medical industrial complex? I would have had a few things to say. How come the swamp is still filled up? Anyway, some people, because of the tribal nature of things right now, if you say, and just for the record, the guy who's currently in the White House is a zombie. He's a corpse, okay? Somebody's just like attached the strings and you're pulling at him and okay, go this way. And was it Humpty Dumpty or the Easter Bunny or something had to direct him once off the stage because he didn't know where to go? Yeah, that's elder abuse, by the way, and it's wrong. Whoever signed on for this, okay, probably should be in jail, but they won't go to jail. And so all of this stuff, right, is a big problem. And music is designed to be a bit of a diversion. So anyway, let's cover. I always feel like I have to do like a dissertation, like I have to come up with a little Gettysburg Address prior to the actual content here, which is pretty basic. This is what Jonathan Cain said about Neal Schon. Schon is just frustrated that he keeps losing in court and is now falsely claiming the song has been used at political rallies, reads the statement issued by Kane's spokesperson. So this didn't come directly from the mouth of Jonathan Cain, but it's pretty clear. Now, has the song been used at a political rally? Now, is this a little lawyer technicality here? Was it used at a rally? No, technically it wasn't a rally. It was the campaign launch of Donald Trump for president 2024. That's where the song was used. Is that kind of a rally? Is that a get together? I mean, now we're kind of splitting hairs. It's not like, the Trump rally where he goes and, 100,000 people or whatever show up to see him speak. That's not what happened. But the song was definitely used in a political context where you had the Supremes, the backup singers of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kimberly Guilfoyle and Carrie Lake. They were all there. They're on background vocals, right? And I think John's wife might have been there singing some harmonies or background vocals. Sounds like a really good time. But when you're in that band, you're the keyboard player for that band and you bring the song in, and not everybody approves of the use of that song. And especially in this case, Neal Schon, a guy who you've been fighting with. Again, as much as I understand why people want to use songs, like I think Carrie Lake, for instance, used I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty, and Tom Petty's estate went bananas over it. Don't use that in that context. Now, I don't know legally what anybody can do in this situation, but because Sean is in the band, I think he does have some kind of a legal right to tell him, hey, don't do this. Well, I co-wrote it with you and Steve, and we all should be able to use it. Well, right now it's 2 against 1 because Perry doesn't want you using it in this context. And now Neal Schon is saying, cease and desist. Don't do this. And literally filed a letter saying you can't perform Don't Stop Believin' in this context. So Neal Schon took to Twitter. Apparently Neal's been on Twitter a lot, either today or, I don't know, last night. I haven't been keeping up. People send me stuff and I go, holy crap, Batman, really? So anyway, Sean has already fought back against that argument. Now he's claiming I keep losing in court. In bleeping sane, he tweeted, get off the Kool-Aid. Wow, lies after lies. I've won 1 case in court with Kane, and the present one has not been heard yet. Apparently, Neal is trying to speed up the court date, but I think the date is actually in February, right around when the tour kicks off. Oh, man. Yeah, you could easily just take to whatever social media platform at this point and say, Journey is over, Journey is finished. I don't know. Again, people are going to want tickets for this because there's this element of mud wrestling going on here, or mud slinging, I should say, between these two guys, and it's getting worse. And I think Schon and Perry are correct to say keep the song out of politics. Now, because a lot of people who like Journey also like Trump, they're kind of conflicted because they're like, yeah, maybe you should keep it out of politics, but I'm glad they used it. I'm glad he went there and he used that. They may not even like Cain, but they're like, hey, if it helps Trump, then that's a good thing. And I say you have to be consistent. If you don't want politics in certain whatever, if you don't want music in politics, or you don't want to see your songs being, prostituted out in a way that you don't like, you have to be consistent. Now, John Cain has said in a video that Journey isn't political. Steve Perry said in a video or in a written statement that Journey shouldn't be used for certain things. I didn't give permission for, I think it was Trump again, who may have used a Journey song, and it probably was Don't Stop Believin'. It's, folks, like I keep saying, this is the cash cow, which will go on in perpetuity, and everybody's trying to hold on to that cow. They're trying to hold on to a calf or a tail or an udder. It's just trying to hold on to something, because that cash cow is just never going to stop. It's never going to stop believing. You know what I mean? And Neal Schon made sure that everybody knows that both Perry and himself say, nope, I don't mind what you do in your personal life, which I think is fair. He doesn't think that people with religious faith are bad people. Now, you may not like the brand or the style of the faith that is being promoted here, and I don't even want to get into that because that's a very personal topic, because everybody comes from kind of a different place, and they may worship in a certain way. They may get close to God in a certain way. I've been pretty blunt that I am a follower of Jesus here, not here on this channel necessarily, but in my own life. And, that's not for everybody. I would like people to take a look at it. And, I think my job is to kind of at least tell people about it and say, hey, if you haven't heard, but I'm thinking, look, if you haven't heard about Jesus at this point, I'm sure you've heard. And some of you have been very annoyed, right? And you don't want to hear it anymore. But I don't think Neal Schon is trying to make it like, hey, this guy shouldn't even be practicing his faith. Whatever he does on his own time is his own business. And I think that is a decent response. Now, again, I do want to address the idea of a political rally, because this isn't necessarily a political rally, but it's like saying a Jeep isn't an SUV. It's just, okay, this is pretty close, and so you have to kind of just go with it and say, yeah, he's kind of got a point here. I mean, he's launching his campaign. So I don't know if that rebuttal is adequate. And this thing about losing in court, like I said, I think the only recent issue that just kind of got dismissed was the security issue, where Neal's wife was allegedly roughed up by a security person, and they thought they had it on video, and there was no video, or Neal thought the video was doctored or something. edited. I don't know. The bottom line is that I don't know what Cain is referring to. He may know something that I don't know, and other people may be able to shed some light on the cases that Neal has lost in court. I don't know if the whole Smith and Valerie thing was considered a loss. And quite honestly, I think that Neal was referring to how they both benefited from what happened with Steve Smith and Ross Valerie. That maybe the financial damage was less than it could have been. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and you try to put puzzle pieces together, but typically you're going to be missing a few pieces. And so you just try to, come up with theories, conspiracy theories, right? Put on my tinfoil hat. Anyway, if you want a more political look at how I feel these days, you can check out The Radical Independent, which is my other channel. There's a link to it, I believe, on the banner of this particular channel. I haven't checked in a while, haven't reorganized any of those icons in quite some time. But yeah, this is going to go on for a long time, people. It's going to be a battle which is waged on social media and through attorneys. So I guess it's something to look forward to. It's kind of sad we're going into the holiday season just a few days before Christmas, and there's no peace and goodwill in the band Journey right now. I guess if you're Dean Castronovo, things are fine, right? Arnel Pineda living the good life. I hope he went home to spend some time with his family in the Philippines. In any event, folks, before I go, it's John Elefante, The Amazing Grace. This might help you kind of focus on what's really important overall, not just at this time of year, but all the time. Great songwriter. This is really well done, courtesy of Escape Music. Escape Music, they've had a great year. They've also got the Turkish Delight album, which you can see over my shoulder, and Lone Rider, which is just spectacular. Could be my album of the year. Next week, I'm going to be working on this, and it's not going to be easy to choose my number one for 2022. Next year, I know I have to buy far fewer CDs than I purchased this year. So that's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And if you're feeling like you're in the holiday spirit, you can do one of two things. You can join up on YouTube, get a membership. I think it's $2.99 to help support the channel. Or you can do like $1 a month on Patreon, which is very beneficial. I always say if 1/3 of my subscribers decided to do any of this stuff, I could probably retire and buy all the CDs I want and just review CDs all day. That would be way better than covering the drama that is the band Journey these days. But, like I say, any day where this happens, it's probably a really good day for my channel.